Hey my friends, how's it going? It's Ultimus, and I currently have a puppy nipping at my feet. What are you doing, dog? Today we're going to be going over the Dreadblades, the new Rogue Artifact Weapon, which is going to go along with the new Outlaw Rogue spec. Outlaw Rogues are the new spec that has completely replaced combat. So Rogues are one of the classes that are getting some of the biggest overhauls when it comes to class changes. So, let's go ahead and jump right in. Looking at the equip effect, which says a chance on using a finishing move to cause Dreadblade's fate, increasing the damage pistol shot and saber slash does to the target by 100% for 12 seconds. So it's interesting that it's going to affect two attacks. Like, you're going to have the options between saber slash and pistol shot, not just the one, which is kind of interesting to see. Because I'm imagining one of those is going to be better depending on what your situation is. So it'll be kind of cool to see, you know, which end up being better. And I'm actually just excited in general just to see what the class and spec looks like, because it is a very major change. And it's kind of interesting to see that it's like you're full on going basically pirate mode. You have the pistol that's going to be hidden away, and you're going to be able to use that for attacks as well as your swords. So I think it's an interesting gameplay mechanic that we're going to be seeing a lot of. And then we have for our first talent here, Curse of the Dreadblades. Invoke the Curse of the Dreadblades, causing each saber slash to fill your combo points. However, the Dreadblades will consume 5% of the current health when using a finishing move for the next 12 seconds. And that's on a 1-minute cooldown. So that's interesting. So, again, it goes in line with the lore of the weapons in that they are a set of swords that drains life and is constantly seeking to drain life. And so it's going to be draining your life. So you get maximum combo points off of them when this is active for the next 12 seconds, but it consumes 5% of your current health. So it's not total health, so it's current health. So again, as that continues to take, it's going to take less and less health away. So towards the end of it, it's not going to be as big of a hit, but throughout the course of the attack itself, that's still going to be a decent chunk of damage. Next, we have Cursed Edges, which says Saber Slash damage is increased by 3%, 6%, 10%. Okay. Cursed Leather, damage taken reduced by 3%, 6%, 10%. It's interesting that those two right there are right off the bat. Like, I feel like all the other artifact weapon trees we've seen, those are a little bit deeper into the tree. But these ones are quite, like, they're the first other talent you have access to after you get your Curse of the Dreadblade. So that's very interesting. Fate's Thirst increases the damage of run through by 3%. So there's lots of flat damage buffs. Fortune's Boon reduces the cooldown of Adrenaline Rush by 10 seconds, 20, 30 seconds. Okay. Hidden Blade, when you successfully ambush a target, your next Saber Slash will be guaranteed to strike a second time. Oh, that's kind of ruthless. Fortune Strikes, combat potency generates 1 additional energy. 2, 3 additional energy. Interesting. And obviously with the relics, you're going to be able to buff all these up, I would imagine. Blade Dancer reduces the energy regeneration penalty of Blade Flurry by 3%, 6%, 10%. So more energy refunding in that sense, which is kind of nice. Better resource management. Up here we have Ghostly Shell. My dog is currently licking my feet, and that feels very, very weird. When you use Cloak of Shadows, your Dreadblades will heal you for 2% of your maximum health for each effect immediately cleared, as well as any effects resisted during its duration. Oh. Wow, so 2%, 4%, 6%. So, like, that's going to be... See, stuff like this I think is really cool, and I feel like each class is getting something like this. This is really going to push the boundary for the skill cap on that class. Like, your average rogue or your newer rogue is going to panic and use Cloak of Shadows immediately when they feel like they're under a lot of pressure. But good rogues, experienced rogues, are going to wait to make the maximum effect out of this as they can, so they can get the most healing back, so they can dispel the most amount of effects on them and then resist the most amount as well. And so I think, again, stuff like this is really cool that we're seeing these things attached in our artifact weapons, because, again, it's just going to raise that bar a little bit and make the good rogues stand out, in this case, higher above the average ones or the beginners, which is really kind of cool. And then we have Deception. Sprint automatically activates Fate. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Fatebringer reduces the energy cost of your finishing moves by 2%, or 2, 4, and 6, not percent. Still kind of cool. So more efficient finishing moves, which is always nice. I could see people actually taking relics for this to buff that. I want to see. Oh, right there off the bat. Maybe. No, that's not the right one. Can we? Yeah, there we go. I just saw it light up. There we go. So, by 8. Holy butts. Let's see how high we can get this bad boy up. go. It stacks to 10. Yeah, and then 12. So with this one, even if you put all of your relics into it, that's going to drop your finishing move cost by 12. That's pretty significant. Like 12 energy seems like a big deal to me. Maybe it's because I don't play a rogue, but I mean, cheaper finishing moves means a little bit more devastating damage for sure. Blade Master, while Reposit... That's not right. I can never say that word. While Riposte? Whatever. While that attack, this is why I don't play a rogue, is active, all parried attacks generate a combo point. Then we have a Gunslinger. Pistol shot is a 3% increased critical strike chance. Kind of nifty. So I feel like a lot of just flat damage buffs to your kind of core abilities as a, I keep wanting to say combat, but as an Outlaw Rogue. Which is interesting considering there's such a new class, so I'm curious how this is going to, or spec, so I'm curious how this is going to play out as far as like balancing goes. I feel like balancing is going to be a very, very tricky thing, and out of all the expansions to drop the exclusive PvP tuning to where they have preset and rendered stats out for everybody, I think this is potentially the most appropriate time for it since they're making so many class tweaks and changes and adding a new class as it is. This is a big deal. Whether or not the flat stats for classes is a good thing or not, that's yet to be determined. That's like a whole different video for a whole other time is if we talk about like the changes coming to PvP and what the potential dangers are. So I'm not going to go over that a lot in this video. But with all the class changes and the spec changes that are coming in, I think that out of all the times to drop that feature, now is probably the most appropriate one. Blunderbuss. When you perform a second strike with Saber Slash, your next pistol shot may be replaced with a blunderbuss that shoots a ball of shrapnel at the target, dealing greatly increased damage. Oh dang, so you're just gonna like pull out a big old cannon out of your pocket. Holy crap. That's kinda cool though. When you perform a second strike with Saber Slash. So is that you perform Saber Slash and then you use another Saber Slash? Or is that when your Saber Slash procs and you get the second attack out of it? Because that's what I want to know, because... Yeah, because I feel like... Because I know there's something built into that where you're going to get that second attack, so I feel like that's going to be built into the second attack proc, so whenever that happens, then you get the blunderbuss, which makes sense. Blurred Time. While Adrenaline Rush is active, all of your abilities recharge 200% faster. Holy crap. That's 4 times as fast, right? Yeah, I mean, that's insane. Wow, that's really fast. Greed. When you use Run Through on a target, the greed of the Dreadblades will sometimes cause you to perform an additional attack to all enemies within 5 yards around you, causing 150% plus 150% damage, and heals you for 5% of your maximum health per target hit. That's a big attack. I wonder what Outlaw Rogue's AoE damage is going to be like. Are they going to be mostly single target or AoE? I don't know. I really want to see, too, how they're going to play into current existing PvP comps, like RMD, the Rogue Mage Priest, all that kind of stuff. I'm really curious. Thug Cleave, I suppose, is another one to make an honorable mention of. I really want to see what these guys are going to look like in those comps, or if it'll still pretty much be subtlety. And then, of course, I want to see and find out what specs Outlaw Rogues are going to fit into. Are Rogues and Warriors finally going to be somewhat synergistic and work in threes? Who knows? I mean, there's so much changing right now with Legion that I feel like everything's up in the air and everything's being, like, the entire meta is being challenged, it feels like. I may be over-exaggerating and overthinking this a little bit, but I really feel like I'm safe to say that the meta is being challenged and is going to change a lot come Legion, more than it has for any other expansion. The meta changes pretty much every expansion as they make tweaks and changes and add different skills and stuff like that. Certain healers will become, the top of the line and go back and forth, and there's the ebb and flow of all that class changes and buffs. But, like, with everything that is going on with Legion, I feel like it's going to be the most drastic change I think we've seen to WoW PvP in a long time, which can be a good thing. It can also be a very scary thing and a dangerous thing, but I'm optimistic about it. So, with big changes like this coming, I think it's Outlaw Rogues are going to be a welcome change, and I hope that the spec does well, and I hope people enjoy it. It definitely makes me keep my eye on my Rogue, and just kind of wondering, am I going to like that a little bit more than the Subtlety Rogue or the Assassination Rogue? Because I go back and forth on enjoying Rogues. Sometimes I enjoy them, sometimes I don't. My rogue is still one of the last classes I have to get max level. I think my rogue is one of 3 classes I have yet to hit 100. My mage, my hunter, and my rogue. Other than that, everything else is 100, and I just don't know why. I've never really connected with rogue's element, but with, again, the changes coming with the outlaw spec here, that might change the game up quite a bit, so we'll have to wait and see. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, please don't forget or hesitate to like, comment, and or subscribe if you want. Still shooting for 500 subs come summer, so if you'd like to help me get there, I'd love your support. Feel free to follow me on any of the social media sites that are listed here on the page. You can find my Instagram up on top in the banner where I post pretty much every day. More personal, other kind of stuff that I do, not necessarily video game related, so you can, follow me there at your own discretion. You can also follow my Twitter and the Facebook page I have set up for this channel. All you got to do is hit that page with a like, and I post and I share links to my videos there every day that I post them, so you can go right there, see what I posted if that's a little bit more convenient for you. Also gives you another place to get in contact with me, make video suggestions, requests, all that kind of stuff. Same thing with my Twitter as well. So guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.